Futures and options on futures trading involve substantial risk and is not a suitable investment for all types of investors. Past results are not necessarily indicative of future results. When I use the word I in this video, it refers to what I teach in my charting course or what I author in my twice daily oral and written updates. Prices shown on charts and quote boards are in real time and take into account all known activity up to this point in time. And if you'd like to read more of this disclaimer, simply hit the pause key on your video player. Good weekend, all. Ira Epstein of Linn & Associates with your metals market update for this Friday, and this is April 7th, 2017, and we're after 3:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Now remember, on the weekly reviews, we don't look at the daily charts. We do that Monday through Thursday. We're going to review just weekly charts and the events of the week. By now, you all know, unless you're living in a cave somewhere, that the U.S. attacked a Syrian air base. You know that the Swedes had a terrorist, again, take a truck on through everything. And you know that we saw a jobs number that wasn't all that great. And last, you know that President Trump met with the president of China. We don't know what they talked about, but the message had to be clear in some sense that they're having dinner, they're probably doing dessert, and the word comes in that the strike of the Tomahawk missiles was made. I'm sure that it had to be a strange moment as the president had to tell the president of China, who may have known this was going on, none of us know what's going on, that that's there. But it's a message. It's a message that while they're sitting together, I just bombed something, I'm not taking anything, I'm not President Obama. For the North Koreans, it's a message. The U.S. is different. For the Russians, it's a message. So you can say anything you want. This is not President Obama. This is a different type of president. He does what he says, and you watch. His ratings with war probably move up a little bit. I don't think we're at war, by the way. I think this was a message, a strong one, that Assad just handed President Trump on a platter when he used sarin gas. The question, of course, comes in on that. How did the Russians allow it to happen? Blah, blah, blah. All right, so where is gold? Because that's what we're talking. We're talking the gold, the silver, and the other markets right now. Well, let's talk about it. The monthly chart's going to close at 1254 thereabouts. It does have a pattern of higher lows and higher highs. So the trend in the market is making its way back up. How come the higher high? Well, if you look, you can see that this week this month we've had a high of 1269.10. Let me phrase that the right way. But it wasn't a runaway market. And for those people that were watching the daily charts up into the 1270s basis, the June gold, it gave up a chunk of that, closing the day out at 1257.30, which is disappointing any way you want to cut it. It's also not bad because the market was overbought. It needed a correction to keep going, and it's got it, and it might come out of being overbought on the daily charts very shortly. The monthly chart has no momentum. It's stuck sideways. All of this didn't kick it up. Should the market catch on fire, I would be surprised if we can't make it up to the 100-week average and fight a battle there. Let me give you the negative. If you take out 1194.50 on a monthly chart, you lose the bullish pattern. But you've got to fall from where you're at, about $50. And I don't see anything with the French election and all that's going on that, if you will, is going to be suddenly very bearish gold. Anything can happen. I don't have to be right there. But you've got so many events in front of you and so much uncertainty in what the two presidents of China and the U.S. are really going to say in another week about this meeting, because right now it's buddy time, but you know how that works. When we take a look, we can see we got up to 1269.10s, and we took out that high, so the market's now back into an up thrust. When we take a look at an area chart of just closes, well, you're up here. You didn't quite take out the 1256.90. Now remember, you're going to say to me, Ira, but June gold did so-and-so. But this is an area chart of weekly closes. You take each month that's there. So you got an April contract. You see what I'm getting at? Sometimes you even have a May that nobody trades in some of these markets. That's where you're at. But the trend, it's up. You've got higher lows, higher highs. This particular high didn't take that out, but you did it before. So you've got a market that's thrusting higher. When we take a look at the swing line, we don't have an ideal situation. We have a situation of a higher high and a lower low, But when we add the 18-week moving average to the 100, they're both on the same number. When this market reopens on Sunday night for the week, the 18-week is going to jump over the 100. You're going to say, how do I know that? Well, I know it because I understand the math of how this works, and you're going to take this number and drop one of them back here, and that's going to skew how this is going to look. It's not back up there, it's right over here. You count back 18 weeks, and that'll skew it, give a weighting of dropping a number there, adding a number there, and that should do the job. I could be wrong, but I'd bet I'm right. So that looks good, and often that means, the word is often, I wish I could say always, you're going to make a higher high on the move. If you go for the higher high, it might be up to the upper Bollinger Band. Now, one of the things that bothers me in gold is you haven't been hitting these upper bands for months, almost a year on end. You've not had a problem hitting the lower ones. So if gold is going to come alive, maybe how you read the gong from the Gong Show, remember Chuck Barris? You get up and you hit that number and you say, yes, we have a different type of market all of a sudden. I'd like to see that, but I don't know we're going to get it. In momentum, it's pointing up. Now remember, I don't use slow stochastics on weekly charts the way I do on daily at all. I just look at it, is it going up, is it going down, what's it doing there? It's pointing higher, so it still has the weekly momentum going up. I look at the gold ETF chart. The math on this, I don't know if it's going to make it to the crossover where the 18-week in red gets over the green, the 100. We'll find out. I just wish I could tell you. I can't. I don't know what this number, when it drops, will do. But it doesn't matter. The momentum's up. The market pattern, though, is a lower low, right? You had a higher high and low, and now we're back to a higher high, because today is high. When you did move up on the weekly chart, you got up there to 120.67. So it's still acting pretty good. I can't take anything away from that. The gold miners are looking good as well. Higher lows, higher highs. That's good. But momentum is fighting it. It's trying to come down on it, not up. So it might have to pull back here in order to see what it's about. It's not pointing up the way the futures contracts were. We then get to silver, and one of the things I've warned everybody is the market seems to be fighting a battle at the 200-day moving average of closes on the daily chart. I'm looking at a weekly chart, and my brain got that wrong. For the week, we made a higher high, but we're going to close down. This market could not stay up. And it's probably going to fill in some action back in here right now. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at a market that is staying bullish, but has got to come back and fill in here. And until you take out the highs of this week, you have a reversal week that's going to look ugly on the chart. In the copper market, we have a pattern of higher lows, higher highs. The market is fought now. Let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks in a row. It's hugging this 18-week moving average. The noise of the day is fine, but the weekly chart, you just keep ending up right by that number, either side of it. And the momentum still slightly drifting to the downside, so there's nothing big and positive there. We'll have to hear how trade goes, obviously, with the U.S. and China, other events, to see where that's going to move. The palladium market turned bearish on the weekly chart. You've got lower highs, lower lows. You closed under the 18-week average. I wouldn't be surprised if it tries to make a run here at 890.5. Fighting it is the palladium market. This was the, they both can't be palladium. This is platinum. I've got the wrong words. My mistake. I'm the one that types it in. I made a mistake there. This is the platinum. It's weaker. The palladium is stronger. It's got the higher highs, higher lows. So the spread, if you're a long-term trader, seems to be palladium versus platinum until this reverses its trend. We'll see what happens, or until the platinum reverses its. In the dollar index, you rallied back to the 18-week moving average, which I call that line in the sand, the neutral point on a chart, and you stalled out. So the market was oversold, came up, but if you look at these numbers, you're no longer oversold. It's like game on now. Now the market starts getting interesting for the dollar. We see what happens. If you like the way I analyze and you watch these videos, I want to teach you what I do. It's really simple. I swear to you, it's simple. If you got a teenager in the house, you can teach them this. It's not going to be difficult at all. Therefore, you're going to be able to really get into it. How I teach is, I've done this for 40 years teaching, 35 years probably, right in that zone. I start off with a PowerPoint so you understand the concept. I like to cover the name on a chart. I don't want you coming in on my video and saying, oh, I'm bullish gold. Look at, he's got a gold chart. He's teaching with me. Nah. The key is take the name off the chart. What's the pattern telling you? Would you be long or short? Bases the pattern. That is how you're supposed to look at a chart. If you look at it in any other manner, as much as you want to say, nah, I don't get swayed by things I hear. Yeah, I don't buy that. So what my course includes are 54 chapters of videos. And in each video, you start off with a swing line, for example, a PowerPoint of each one of these studies. I said swing line there. Here's the moving average, for example. Here's your slow stochastic. There'll be every study that I do. Then I take you right into the chart. So we start off with the PowerPoint, then we move into the chart. I'll ask you questions. We'll go back and forth, and I do repetition. I layer everything that you're learning on you. You're going to get charting software. You're going to get the videos. You're going to have access to my research, comments, and guess what? In the mornings, I do a video Monday through Friday. I try to do them every day. Do I miss one every now and then? It could happen. But think of it as an every day. I'm going to review in a certain manner charts, and I'm going to hone in for you. I'm going to talk swing lines, Bollinger Bands, all this so you get the game. Then you can always call me and ask questions. Yeah, I do talk to the people. And then I often hold several times a year, I'm going to hold it probably 6 times a year, a webinar where you can come in and ask questions and I will explain everything you've got, but you can write me, you can call me. I'm going to do that anyways. I love to teach. Now, you'll think this course could be $1,000, $500. It isn't. Right now it's $89.95. It started at $69.95 in December. It's already crept up here and it's going up again. If you type in the word Ira 15, all is one, when you go to our website or you click on the forms, whatever it is to buy the course, it's going to be $74.95, but here's a guaranteed trade. I'm taking the price up. I'm not going to tell you when. It's right around the corner, though, so be careful. How do you get this? All right, the simple way. Go to our website, www.iraepstein.com. Under the word education, click on it. You'll see there. There'll even be a video that explains everything, facts about it. I really make it clear. You can even click right up here if you'd like. If you're watching me on YouTube, it will take you right to that area as well. You'll see the video where I do my best to explain how this all works for you in even more detail, the facts about it. I think you'll find that for $74.95, which is not $1 on a gold trade, it's not 2 cents on a corn trade, right? You can invest in yourself. I'm Ira. You have a great day, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow.